In the biblical record, the figure of the archangel emerges uniquely as a key piece among the countless angels who populate the sacred pages. Among the celestial myriad, only one archangel stands out, and that is Michael. His presence is not only remarkable, but essential, as he personifies the highest angelic hierarchy, being the archangel par excellence. Michael is not just one of many, but the foremost among the holy angels, representing incomparable authority and influence in the spiritual universe. His elevated position and prominent role make him a unique figure, revered both by the faithful and by heavenly beings themselves. The name Michael carries with it an intriguing theological question: who is like God? This question reverberates throughout the scriptures, highlighting the singular nature and exceptional position attributed to this archangel. In the Bible, the name Michael is mentioned in several passages, each contributing to the understanding of this heavenly enigma. In the book of Daniel, Michael is described as one of the first princes, Daniel 10 verse 13, suggesting his prominent position among the angels. Furthermore, the very name Michael is a declaration of superiority, questioning whether there is anyone or anything that can be compared to God. The most emblematic reference comes in Revelation, where Michael leads a war in heaven against the forces of evil. In this cosmic battle, he triumphs over the dragon, confirming his position as a celestial warrior imbued with divine power. Thus, the name Michael transcends mere personal identification, becoming a symbol of divine supremacy and invincibility. Michael's importance in the scriptures is undeniable, as he is the only archangel mentioned directly in the Bible, occupying a prominent place among the angels. He is first mentioned in the book of Daniel, indicating his position of authority and leadership in the spiritual realm. In this context, Michael is portrayed as a defender of Israel, intervening in spiritual conflicts on behalf of God's chosen people. In Daniel 10 verse 13, Michael is mentioned as one of the chief princes, revealing his prominent position among the angels. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, and behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I stood there with the kings of Persia. This passage emphasizes Michael's authority and influence in the spiritual realm, highlighting his importance in spiritual battles and in protecting divine designs. Another relevant passage is found in Jude 1 verse 9, where Michael is described as an archangel who disputed with Satan over the body of Moses. This narrative highlights not only his high position among the angels, but also his willingness to fight in defense of divine designs and holiness. In Jude 1 verse 9, we find a crucial reference about the archangel Michael. Yet the archangel Michael, when he was disputing with the devil about the body of Moses, did not dare to pronounce infamous judgment against him, but said, "The Lord rebuke you." In this passage, Michael is portrayed as a defender of God's designs, engaging in a spiritual dispute with Satan over Moses' body. His attitude of respect for divine authority and his refusal to issue an infamous judgment highlight his submission to God and his mission as guardian of the righteous. Furthermore, in Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9, Michael leads the heavenly hosts in a battle against Satan and his followers, demonstrating his courage and power as a heavenly warrior. This victory over the dragon confirms not only Michael's supremacy, but also his unwavering loyalty to God and his mission to protect the righteous. In Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9, there is a powerful description of the battle in heaven between Michael and the forces of evil. And there was a battle in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought, and his angels, yet they prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. This passage highlights Michael's leading role as archangel, leading the heavenly hosts in the fight against evil and triumphing over Satan. His victory results in the expulsion of the dragon and his followers to earth, symbolizing the final defeat of evil and the victory of God's kingdom. In summary, Michael plays a crucial role as an archangel in the scriptures, being a leader, defender, and spiritual warrior on behalf of the divine plan. His actions exemplify the fidelity, courage, and authority attributed to heavenly beings, highlighting him as a unique and revered figure in the spiritual universe. Moses' death is a landmark event in the biblical narrative, representing the end of the leadership of one of the most prominent prophets and leaders of the people of Israel. After leading the Israelites for decades through the desert towards the Promised Land, Moses dies in Moab, on the banks of the river Jordan, without ever entering the land he so longed to reach. His departure is described as ordained by God, a moment of transition in which he is called to rest after his long journey of service to the Lord. However, the narrative of Moses' death takes an intriguing turn when details emerge about the dispute over his body. In the book of Jude, it is mentioned that the Archangel Michael had a dispute with Satan over Moses' body. This spiritual contention reveals a deep and mysterious dimension, indicating that Moses' body held an importance beyond the simple physical aspect. Some interpretations suggest that Satan wanted to use Moses' body as an instrument of temptation and idolatry for the people of Israel, while Michael opposed this evil plan in defense of holiness and divine purposes. This spiritual battle over Moses' body highlights not only the divine reverence for the prophet's life and legacy, but also the constant struggle between good and evil in the spiritual world. Moses, as a central figure in Israel's history, represented the teachings and principles given by God to his people, and his body, even after death, was considered precious and worthy of protection from Satan's evil designs. Thus, the dispute over Moses' body not only adds a layer of mystery and intrigue to the narrative, but also highlights the spiritual and symbolic importance of the Israelite leader, while emphasizing Michael's role as a defender of divine plans and a guardian against the onslaughts of the evil one. The conflict between Michael and Satan over Moses' body is an intriguing and enigmatic episode in the scriptures. Although the specific details of this clash are not fully revealed, its mention in Jude 1 verse 9 offers us insights into its nature and meaning. The text suggests that there was a dispute or contention between the Archangel Michael and Satan over the fate or use of Moses' body after his death. This dispute reveals a deep and mysterious spiritual dimension in which Michael, as a representative of divine forces, and Satan, as a spiritual antagonist, are involved in a confrontation over the control or fate of Moses' body. The exact nature of this feud remains obscure, leaving room for various interpretations and speculations. Some theories suggest that Satan may have tried to use Moses' body as a means of leading the people of Israel astray into idolatry, while Michael opposed this evil attempt in defense of divine purposes and holiness. Although the precise reason for this conflict is not explained in Scripture, its inclusion in the biblical canon highlights the spiritual and symbolic importance of Moses' body, even after his death. Moses, as a leader and prophet fundamental to Israel's history, continues to have influence and significance even beyond his earthly life, as evidenced by the spiritual dispute over his body. This narrative also highlights Michael's role as a defender of divine designs and a guardian against the onslaughts of the evil one, demonstrating his faithfulness and commitment to God's will. Have you ever wondered why there would be a dispute between the Archangel Michael and Satan over Moses' body? One intriguing possibility is the concern that the great leader's body could be used for idolatrous purposes. As Moses was a figure so revered and respected by the people of Israel, his body could become an object of worship, diverting devotion from the true God to a human figure. This would certainly be contrary to the principles of the Jewish faith and would represent a threat to the spiritual purity of the people. What do you think of this theory? Do you think that concern about possible idolatry could have been a reason for the dispute over Moses' body? Leave your opinion in the comments and let's debate this intriguing aspect of Scripture together. When exploring the narrative of the confrontation between Michael and the Prince of Persia over Moses' body, it is essential to understand the spiritual context involved. The Prince of Persia is presented as a malevolent spiritual being whose power and influence extended over the region of ancient Persia. His mention in Daniel 10 suggests that he was an evil force who exercised spiritual authority over that nation, opposing divine designs and causing interference in heavenly activities. The connection between the Prince of Persia and the dispute over Moses' body may reveal an evil attempt by Satan to use this evil spiritual power for his own purposes. As the Archangel Michael intervened to protect Moses' body, it is possible that Satan tried to manipulate the Prince of Persia to promote idolatry and divert the people of Israel from worshiping God. This aspect of the narrative highlights the complexity of spiritual conflict and the presence of evil forces that seek to thwart divine plans. As we examine this story, we are confronted with the reality of spiritual battle and the importance of remaining vigilant and faithful in the face of evil onslaughts. Daniel's vision, described in chapter 10 of the book of Daniel, is a powerful and prophetic account that reveals God's plans for the people of Israel and the world in general. Daniel, in a 3-week period of mourning, fasting and prayer, receives a disturbing vision about a great war and the fate of his people in the last days. This profound and apocalyptic vision is a divine revelation about events that were yet to come, providing insight into the future and preparing Daniel and his people for the challenges that lay ahead. However, the delay in delivering the explanation of this vision is an intriguing part of the narrative. The angel sent to explain the vision to Daniel is stopped by a figure called the Prince of Persia. This malevolent spiritual being exerts a powerful spiritual opposition over the region of ancient Persia, preventing the angel's immediate arrival to Daniel. This 21-day delay reflects the intensity of the spiritual conflict and the tenacity of the evil forces in obstructing God's designs. The opposition of the Prince of Persia highlights the reality of the spiritual battle and the influence of demonic forces on specific nations and regions. The fact that an archangel like Michael was sent to help the detained angel indicates the seriousness and importance of the spiritual situation. Michael, as one of the chief princes, is powerful enough to intervene and help free the heavenly messenger, demonstrating the hierarchy and authority in the spiritual realm. This episode emphasizes the need to persevere in prayer and in seeking God's will even in the face of spiritual opposition and the obstacles we face. It also reminds us of the existence of invisible spiritual forces that influence events in the physical world and the importance of being prepared and vigilant in the face of these spiritual realities. Michael's involvement in the fight against the Prince of Persia reveals his importance and authority in the spiritual realm. As one of the leading princes, Michael is summoned to intervene and assist in the release of the detained heavenly messenger. His intervention demonstrates his courage and commitment to divine purposes, standing up to evil forces to ensure that God's message is delivered to Daniel. Michael emerges as a powerful spiritual warrior, able to confront and defeat the Prince of Persia, even in the face of his formidable opposition. His leadership and ability to overcome spiritual obstacles highlight his position as one of the leading archangels and a defender of God's designs. By releasing the heavenly messenger and ensuring that the vision is revealed to Daniel, Michael fulfills his role as an agent of divine will, ensuring that the prophetic message is transmitted and understood. The war in heaven described in Revelation 12 is an event of cosmic proportions, where Michael and his angels confront the dragon and his hosts. In this epic battle, there is a clear distinction between the forces of good, led by Michael, and the forces of evil, represented by the dragon, identified as Satan. This symbolic spiritual war reflects the conflict between good and evil, between God and the devil, which permeates the whole of human history. Michael's victory over the dragon and his heavenly hosts results in the expulsion of Satan and his followers from heaven. This defeat represents a crucial moment in spiritual history, where the power of evil is finally defeated and banished from the heavenly domain. However, this expulsion does not mean the end of Satan's influence, who is cast down to earth and continues his work of deception and destruction among the inhabitants of the earth. This war in heaven also anticipates future events, such as the tribulation period and the second coming of Christ. Chapter 12 of Revelation is full of symbolism and apocalyptic images, which point to the final fulfillment of God's purposes and the establishment of his eternal kingdom. The detailed description of this heavenly battle highlights the importance of spiritual struggle and trust in God's ultimate victory over the forces of evil. The battle between Michael and his angels against the dragon, Satan, and his angels, described in Revelation 12, is an epic representation of the struggle between good and evil. In this cosmic conflict, Michael, as leader of the heavenly hosts, directly confronts the demonic forces led by the dragon. The intensity and magnitude of this battle are evident, revealing the seriousness and ferocity of the spiritual confrontation. Michael and his angels show courage and determination in confronting the dragon and his hosts, highlighting their loyalty and obedience to God. The battle is not only physical, but also spiritual, reflecting the conflict between divine principles and the evil forces that seek to challenge God's authority. Michael's victory over the dragon symbolizes the final triumph of good over evil and the realization of God's designs for the spiritual world. This heavenly battle not only underscores the importance of Michael's leadership and bravery, but also highlights the faithfulness and power of the heavenly hosts in fulfilling God's purposes. By defeating the dragon and his hosts, Michael ensures the victory of God's kingdom and the expulsion of evil from the heavenly realm, paving the way for the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. With the defeat of the dragon and his expulsion to earth, the heavenly battle in Revelation 12 reaches its climax, symbolizing the victory of good over evil. However, this expulsion does not mark the end of Satan's influence, who becomes enraged and directs his wrath against God's followers. This violent reaction demonstrates the persistence of evil and the continual need for spiritual vigilance on the part of believers. Despite Satan's fury, the final victory has already been secured by Michael and his heavenly hosts, and hope endures in the promise of God's definitive triumph over darkness. Michael, as an archangel, plays a crucial role in Scripture as a defender of divine purposes and a leader of the heavenly hosts. His presence is often associated with moments of great spiritual importance and battles against the forces of evil. Michael is described as one of the chief princes, highlighting his authority and high position in the spiritual realm. His courage, loyalty, and obedience to God make him a model of service and devotion for believers. By leading the heavenly hosts in the fight against evil, Michael ensures the fulfillment of divine designs and the protection of the faithful. His figure inspires confidence and hope in the final victory of good over evil, demonstrating God's sovereignty over all things. May the story of the battle between Michael and the dragon remind us of the eternal struggle between good and evil and the guaranteed victory of light over darkness. If you like this video and want to see more inspiring content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like it and share it with your friends and family. That way, together, we can spread the message of hope and faith to a world that needs it so much. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.